Welcome to yet another video, Dr. RS and you, on science of cosmetics and personal care products. We are in part 68 today. In skincare, we will see about sunscreen formulations. For sunscreen formulation, you have to go through part 3. Already covered skin structure and functions. Part 4, common problems associated with skin. Very important, part 6, sunlight and skin. Unless or otherwise you go through that, you might not understand the formulation discussions which we are going to have. Then building blocks of all the various ingredients we use, and this is also very important, otherwise you will not understand building blocks, active sunscreens. These two are very important, right? Sunlight and skin, part 6, and part 29, building block, actives, sunscreens, and of course preparation of creams, which you would have already gone through if at all. So now these two things are very important: sunlight and skin, building blocks, actives, sunscreens. Go through these, and then before going to this part, okay? So factors affecting sunscreen formulation: solvents, rheology modifiers, sun protection factor boosters, sunscreen film thickness, photostability of sunscreens, and synergy between sunscreens. We will see with examples one by one. Solvents. This is the reference I given. You can go through the reference, right? This is the reference where with various solvents tested, UV absorbance of bis-ethyl, hexyl, oxyphenol, methoxyphenyl triazine, or all the other of various sunscreens tested with various solvents, right? What happened? SPF was not impacted. You have to be very careful. All these solvents are polar solvents, dibutyl adipate. All these sunscreens were used in this study, right? So SPF was not impacted by the emollients, but polar solvents altered the UVA protection. This is of advantage in polar emollients better dissolve crystalline UV filters. From tested emollients, dibutyl adipate performed the best for both SPF and persistent pigment darkening. This is almost UVA and this is UVB, because UVB protects the skin from sunburn, UVA protect from suntan, so persistent pigment darkening, right? So polar solvents can be used to optimize the UVA protection. However, dibutyl adipate was found to be the best solvent among the solvents tested in this study. If you want to go through the study, you can get into this link and you can study further. So, effect of solvents. Sunscreen solubility presents many problems. There is only one water soluble sunscreen, phenyl benzimidazole sulfonic acid, that when neutralized is water soluble, okay? It's stable at pH 7 and above, it's soluble, but when the pH reduces of the product reduces, it can crystallize. All the other organic sunscreens are oil soluble, right? These are the examples: octyl triazone, benzophenone 3, butyl methoxy, benzylidene camphor, methoxy, dibenzoyl methane, all crystallize. All these sunscreens crystallize if insufficiently solubilized. With an ever increasing demand for high SPF values, the solubility of these sunscreens when used at higher level is very, very important. Polar solvent may increase the solubility, but they can also change the lambda max of the active. So they can shift the UV absorbance range of the sunscreen. Polar emollients boost SPF owing to the solubility of sunscreens compared to non-polar solvents. That is very clear. Liquid paraffin is a non-polar solvent. It doesn't boost SPF. Only polar solvents boost SPF. Crystallization of sunscreens on storage of the product significantly reduce the SPF values. Crystallization of avobenzone have been observed on inclusion of inorganic sunscreens in the formulation. For example, avobenzone is a UVA sunscreen, potent UVA sunscreen. It has to be solubilized well in the product, but inclusion of inorganic sunscreens like titanium dioxide and zinc oxide has been found to hasten the crystallization of avobenzone. So you have to be very careful when you use high levels of avobenzone with high levels of inorganic sunscreens in the formula, right? So rheology modifiers. Combination of clays with xanthan gum as rheology modifier had synergistic effect with sunscreens for boosting SPF. Polar waxes had synergistic effect with sunscreens on boosting SPF. Beeswax versus microcrystalline wax. Beeswax is a polar wax. This is non-polar. So, combination of gums with clays found to boost SPF, right, in the formula as a rheology modifying agents. Same way, inclusion of polar waxes seems to boost SPF. Factors affecting the formulation of sunscreens, this is the reference, right. SPF boosters. Some polymers boost the SPF. For example, oil soluble polymers like bis PEG12 dimethicone candelylate, BP icosine copolymer. All these polymers or oil soluble polymers boost SPF. Same way, these are hydrophilic polymers that can boost the SPF. You can go through the list. So, what happens? Polymers in the formula can boost the SPF, right? So, effect of spreading of the sunscreens formulation on SPF. How it spreads on the skin? Spreading on thickness of the sunscreen layer affects the efficacy. Here, this is a very good paper, film thickness frequency distribution of different vehicles determines sunscreen efficacy. You can go through this reference, right? So, condition of application, sunscreen vehicle, type and viscosity, film thickness, distribution of sunscreens. So, significant influence factor, key connecting factor, SPF, final measured performance. So, here what has been found is the type and viscosity of sunscreen vehicle and application conditions play a role for film thickness parameters that finally influence the SPF efficacy. Right? High application pressure, long spreading time, low viscosity formulation and or absence of thickness were found to unfavorably impact UV protection. As the application condition can in principle be fixed, the impact of a vehicle on the formed film can now be investigated during the product development step. Sunscreen composition might be optimized accordingly to achieve a large film thickness with a uniform distribution, with minimization of small thickness fraction of the film being crucial for ultimate sunscreen performance. Development of a method to quantify the film thickness distribution of sunscreens on skin was shown to be essential for understanding the mechanism in influencing the UV efficacy. You can go through this paper, film thickness frequency distribution of different vehicles determines sunscreen efficacy. Right, you can go through these people. Basically, the formulation is very, very important. The polymers used in the formula, then the solvents used in the formula to solubilize sunscreens, the spreading of the sunscreens, the rheology of the sunscreen formulation, and the thickness of the film it leaves on your skin. All these aspects are very, very important to have optimum efficacy of the sunscreen formulation. Photostability. This is a work where specifically avobenzone, a very, very potent avobenzone, a very, very potent UVA sunscreen, is notorious highly photostable, unstable. Right? So, how the efficacy drops on exposure to sunlight. A cream with avobenzone was tested by exposing to sunlight on a petri dish, and it was found this is 0 hour, 0.5, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours and 6 hours. This is 6 hours exposure to sunlight, this is initial, 0 hours. See how the efficacy drops, right? This is to just demonstrate that some of the sunscreens can be photo unstable. So, especially the organic sunscreens. So, that has to be studied. Okay. Diethyl naphthalate, diethyl exyl naphthalate shown to significantly improve the photostability of avobenzone. Okay. This is butyl methoxy dibenzoyl methane, that is avobenzone. Inclusion of certain antioxidants has been shown to significantly boost the photostability as evident through increase in SPF and PPT data. So, this is the paper, right? This is the paper. You can see about this aspect if you want to learn more. Sunscreen combinations and synergy. Using combination of sun filter is a necessity to obtain high SPF values. So, finding synergy between them is a rewarding operation. Using combination that improves photostability, such as addition of methyl benzylidene camphor to butyl methoxy dibenzoyl methane or octyl methoxy cinnamate, improves the SPF. Right? Zinc oxide with octocrylene, zinc oxide, sunscreen grade zinc oxide with octocrylene and with isoamyl paramethoxycinnamate and found to significantly increase in protection. This mixture is very synergistic. Okay, W. John Cook, Hewitt and Housley studied the synergy that may be obtained when using inorganic oxides, titanium dioxide and zinc oxide with octyl methoxycinnamate and other organics. He has evaluated and reported. Thomas Wunsch found that 2% octyl triazone with 5% zinc oxide to be particularly effective on all his work. These are the references, and if you want to go through the synergies between all sunscreen combination, you can go through this work, right? So, how you can effectively combine sunscreens to improve the efficacy? These are the aspects. So, for example, the water resistant sunscreen lotion SPF 50, glyceryl stearate, PG 100 stearate, emulsifier, emollient, no, it's a UVB sunscreen, UVA sunscreen, no, this is broad spectrum UVA, UVB. This is a film former. Chelating agent, water, humectant. This is the rheology modifier. So here again, clay and gum is used. See this? A combination of the clay and gum gives very, very good effect. So C12, alkyl benzoate. This is a solvent for the sunscreens, right? Butyl methoxy. So potassium cetyl phosphate emulsifier. So Solavil TMCT12W. This is a water dispersible titanium dioxide. So it is dispersed in water. Okay, it is dispersed in water, and titanium dioxide, sunscreen grade titanium dioxide, coated, dispersed in water. It has to be added, right? So then hydrolyzed wheat protein, PVP, cross polymer. This is an SPF booster. Then preservative and perfume, quantity sufficient, right? Quantity sufficient. So here you have the sunscreens, then a combination of the rheology modifier and emulsifiers. So basically what happens, this is phase A heated to 75 degrees centigrade, then glycerin and xanthan gum dispersed, deionized water, EDTA, all the phase ingredients added, then the xanthan gum is added to phase B, then this is added. So all the things are added, at 75 degrees centigrade. Add this to this, and then at cool, homogenize, cool, add C and D. So preservative and perfume. So this is the formula. For your reference, you can have this method of preparation, right? You can see that, right? This is a cream, SPF 50 cream, right? Example, again, this is a rheology modifier, Aristoflex ABC, glycerin humectant, xanthan gum is used here, rheology modifier. So this is an emulsifier, cetryl alcohol, solvent, UVA filter, UVA UVB filter combination, this one, octocrylene UVB filter, this is a film former, okay, Lex Film Sun. Then titanium dioxide silica, Isolex TV, it's a UVA UVB filter, it's not dispersed, it's a surface treated with silica. Then tocopherol, antioxidant, perfume and preservatives. Right? It's again simple glycerin, xanthan gum. Right? Then disperse this, then add this to this. So all the phase A heated, phase B heated. So phase C, okay. So phase C to B, heat phase A and phase B separately to 70 degrees. So phase A and phase B heat to 70 degrees. So add phase C to B, add phase C to B, all the things, right? That's it. Add phase BC to A and homogenize. So add phase BC to A, homogenize, cool, add D and perfume and preservatives, right? This is the method of preparation for your reference, right? This is one of the marketed products. It's not clear, but here active ingredients: avobenzone, UVA sunscreen; homoslate, UVB sunscreen; octocrylene, UVB sunscreen. More of UVB protection, that is protection from burn than tan. The ingredients: water, of course, citral alcohol, secondary emulsifier; stearyl alcohol, secondary emulsifier; glycerin, humectant; phenoxyethanol, preservative; acrylates, C12, C22, alkyl methacrylate copolymer, it's a rheology modifier; caprylyl glycol, it's a preservative enhancer; cetyl alcohol, secondary emulsifier; carbomer, rheology modifier; cetat-10 phosphate, emulsifier; diacetyl phosphate, it's again a emulsifier; cocoa glucoside, emulsifier; methyl paraben, it's a preservative; xanthan gum, rheology modifier; propyl paraben, preservative; sodium hydroxide, it's a neutralizer for carbomer; EDTA, chelating agent; lauryl, PEG dimethicone, it's a silicone derivative; methyl dihydroabitate, it's a rheology modifier; phenyl isopropyl dimethicone, it's a silicone derivative; polyglyceryl 3 stearate, isostearate, dimer, dilineolate, cross polymer. This is a film former, it's a film former, right? Sodium ascorbyl phosphate, vitamin C derivative; tocopherol acetate, vitamin E derivative; aloe leaf juice, right? This is the base in which these sunscreens are introduced, okay? Avobenzone, homosalate and octocrylene. So this has emulsifiers, of course, then the rheology modifiers, film formers, right? All the ingredients are there in this, so a typical sunscreen formula. So while formulating the sunscreen formulations, again I am telling you, solvents for sunscreens, very, very critical. Rheology modifiers, what rheology modifiers used in the formula, very, very important. You can use SPF boosters to optimally utilize the sunscreens added. Sunscreen film thickness is very, very important. The rheology of the product is very important. How it spreads on the skin, what film it leaves on the skin is very, very important. And photo stability of the sunscreens used in the formula and how it is stabilized, that is very, very important. And how we can use cosmetic ingredients, that is the polar solvents, combination of sunscreens and other ingredients like antioxidants, effectively combine them together to get get the best SPF possible from the sunscreen formulation, right? So this is very important, especially the in designing sunscreen formulation is you have to look into lot of factors, right? Thank you for listening to me in this. This is a very important chapter. So you have to go through the previous parts which I told you on sunscreens and skin and sunscreen actives before going into the sunscreen formulation. Of course, all the building blocks for a skin cream, and before that you have to go through all these things and then get into the factors affecting sunscreen formulation, and then you can design a great formula. Wish you all the best. Thank you for listening to me. Till we get connected in the next session. Thank you. Take care. Keep smiling. Bye.